and welcome to the Very Kidding podcast today.
We're
even more kidding than last week.
Yeah, so fix your stitches, because they're going to be bursting later.
Again.
Oh,
that's awful. If they were going to burst, wouldn't you want to not have them stitched?
I mean, you'd want them stitched because...
To burst?
Well, that's I don't know.
Well, this is a horrible start. Welcome to the morbid podcast. This is a no kidding podcast. We've started out not kidding.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder.
I thought it was going to be very kidding, but we took a left turn.
Okay. Well, it's called laughing in stitches, right? Isn't that like when people say, "Oh, you have me in stitches"?
Oh no, I got the metaphor.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
I'm just saying, like from a medical standpoint, would you, if you knew your stitches were going to burst in the future, would you bother stitching them? Wouldn't it be more painful for them to burst?
Okay, then just be out there and...
We need to get a doctor on here. So
we need a medical opinion on here. Okay, anyways.
He's like, you want a medical opinion for this metaphor about laughing?
You will be laughing until you're bleeding profusely.
Lisa's got a head start. And
what's
I'm Andrew.
wrong with me? Yeah.
So...
Okay, so what do we have today?
You know what's wrong with you? You don't have brisket stew. Okay?
Is this an ad?
No. Yes. It is an ad. No, it's sad. Like. It's a sad ad.
A sad ad. Okay.
It's a sad ad because no one can have this ever again. I'm really depressed.
Ew, why?
Okay? There
can't be a good reason.
We made this stew. And it is so good. It is so good. I can't handle it.
And you can't remake it because you don't know how you did it the first time?
Exactly.
Oh, the worst.
Not only that, because we could probably get it close, but I don't want to take credit. Lervin made this stew. But we could get it close, but the real problem is our friend made a special brisket that we took home and added to the stew.
Oh.
And something like the fat leached out of it and it made all of it brisket flavored.
Uh-huh.
It was the most delicious stew I've ever had in my life.
Wow, that sounds
and
amazing.
I know that I'm never going to be able to replicate these conditions again. I'm not going to be able to ask my friend all the time to make me special brisket just so I can attempt to recreate a recipe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle brisket. It's a
miracle brisket.
Never again miracle brisket. Stew.
The brisket is pretty miracle itself. I mean, this man makes a mean brisket, but
just have him make it again.
He does make it for us occasionally, but we can't push our luck here.
You know what? You could combine forces and develop a recipe that you could sell and make millions. And
here's the thing.
And you're not willing to try?
He could make millions on his brisket alone, so it's going to be a hard sell to be like, let us add stew to just like elevate it a little bit.
Well, okay, maybe he can have maybe he could sell his his brisket, and then you can add...
I could be the wholesale buyer.
Yeah, you could be the wholesale buyer, but you could also take his brisket, make your stew, and then that can just be like a side item that he sells.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It could be a whole brisket meal. It could be all forms of brisket. Liquefied brisket for the drink.
Well, okay. You're going crazy here. Like
brisket proper for the main course.
Dial back the sarcasm and take me seriously.
The restaurant will be called Brisket, and Briskets.
There you go. That's all I'm saying. You just need a restaurant.
It'll be like a law firm.
And then have different brisket options, because some people might just not want a brisket. They might want a stew with brisket in it. Kind of like a Chick-Fil-A.
A little bit of a crispy brisket.
Crispy brisket stew. In Chick-Fil-A, you can get chicken noodle soup or you can get a chicken sandwich. I mean, they have options.
A disket, some brisket cutting into a disc.
You're going too far. Well, you can mold your brisket into different shapes, maybe. Add a little.
I don't think that would be like round brisket. That wouldn't be proper.
That's really disgusting. You're right. Yeah, that would completely ruin it.
Gosh,
but that's amazing for you. I just have to savor
what I have left.
Yeah, you might want to save it. Don't.
This reminds me.
Don't eat it all because then you could have like a flavor, like a flavor genius come in and say, oh, you added parsley to this. I taste some turmeric. He could.
I was about to say that.
Dissect. Go ahead.
I was about to say that this reminds me of that Sad Friends episode where they get the cheesecake and they don't know where it's from because it's like an unmarked box and it just like shows up on their doorstep and they don't know where it's from, but it's the most amazing cheesecake they've ever had, and they're always fighting over it and like trying to get like the last piece.
That is exactly.
But then that reminded me, your statement reminded me of the other Friends episode where Monica is trying to figure out the amazing cookies that Phoebe's grandmother made, and like her secret recipe by like tasting them and like trying to break down the different ingredients and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's doable. You need a palate prince, perfect palate professor.
This gives me another idea though. Well, first of all, no, never mind. Scratch that. This gives me an idea. Those, I read about in Anthropology that a long time ago, prehistoric or whatever, the tribes of early man would often have there's a word for it. I wish I remembered the word for it. They had these stews, like soups, boiled pots that they just like kept adding water to and just chucked in whatever they found, because they were like foragers or like hunter-gatherer types, Yeah. And then like depending on the seasons, like sometimes like fruits and veggies would go out of season, and then like other times like certain animals would migrate and stuff, so there would always be like changing ingredients. So but it would just be a stew that they never emptied. Like it was a pot that they only ever got like half empty, and then they would add stuff to it to like fill it back up, and it was just always on the boiler and it was always going. Like it was just always over a fire.
Is it called a Slumgullion stew?
Yeah, and they just threw in like it. That's a fitting name. That sounds like what I'd imagine.
It says it's.
But yeah, they just felt like whatever nutrients they could find, they'd throw in there.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it says a variety of cultures lay claim to this name. The English, the Irish, the pirates, the pioneers, and many more. Some folk have negative associations with it. But basically, it's saying that it's saying ancient Greeks in the 8th and 4th centuries BC put ingredients into a stomach-like pouch of an animal and cooked it over an open fire. And then I think they just kept it going forever. It's kind of a clean up.
Well,
I don't know.
That sounds a little different. Stew. I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
Which I assume is what you did. What did you Google?
I Googled mystery stews with multiple things. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Perpetual stew, or the hunter's pot, is a stew in which one finds whatever one can find is placed and cooked. The pot is rarely emptied all the way, and ingredients and liquid are replenished as necessary.
Ew, what is that one called? The perpetual stew?
The perpetual stew, or hunter's pot.
Okay, got it. Yeah, that makes more sense.
So yeah, like I said, it's just like basically whatever the hunter-gatherers could find.
I'm looking at the picture. I just looked that up. I'm looking at the picture. Are you looking at the picture?
I don't know. It looks pretty good except for whatever that sausage is in the middle.
I'm
it's like
is
black.
that an animal part?
It's like a gray sausage. It looks like some intestines or something.
I can't.
Which, I mean, all sausages, I suppose, but
I don't know.
Like
that's gross.
Just raw intestines. Like it's still got something.
Okay, yeah, I'm off this whole thing. Like I could never do that. And also, like, wouldn't something go bad if you never empty it? If it's never.
No, but it's never off the fire, so it's always at a boil.
Yeah, but
so nothing can ever grow.
Things would get overheated, I would think. It wouldn't taste very good. I can't imagine. This soup has been simmering for 45 years. Somebody has a YouTube video.
Ooh, I can try it.
Are you serious?
I wonder if I can contact them and
just keep adding.
I'm fascinated. I want to know. I want to know what it's like. I wonder if you could have a restaurant that's all they serve is they just get a giant vat, and then whatever becomes seasonally available to them, they throw in there. And it's always fresh. It's always like the highest quality ingredients that are available at the time, because that's what they always say, right? That the best dishes come from things that are in season, right?
True.
They always taste the best.
Yeah.
So you're always getting what's in season, if whatever, turkey's in season, if strawberries are in season, whatever, throw it all in there. see what comes out.
I don't know.
And then it would be like you would always be able to get in new customers, because every day the stew's different, or at least every season. It would probably be like basically every day, because it would be like a gradient, right? It would shift from the flavors of last season to the flavors of the current season, just as that season was ending, and then you'd start putting in the flavors from the new season.
What if you, in this situation now, where you taste the best stew of your life, and they taste the best stew of their life, and then they can never repeat that because...
But that's part of the experience. That's what you're chasing. It's like Remember, this is like last week. It all ties in together. It's like the rocket cars. You know how we get them coming back, just always chasing that idea that this could be the time.
Okay, this is what I'm saying.
That they blow up.
It's the best stew of your life, but then you have to take that stew and put something else into it. So you're basically ruining the best stew of your life.
No, but this is part of its evolution. Everything's about it's an ephemeral thing. It's about living in the moment.
Okay.
That's the idea here. And guess what? When the stew is at that zenith, you're gonna get people lined up at the door because they know it's limited time. Everything's limited time always.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like constantly boiling or whatever. Like you would have
slightly,
like
it's
how
slightly
expensive
changing.
would that be to constantly leave it on?
It would also be exclusive. You get the exclusivity of it because the people who taste that stew the first time it becomes amazing are going to be like, listen, you're going to have some pretty good stew today, but the stew that I had that day, it was at the peak. They could be like, I had it. I was there the day it became amazing.
True. You have that, what is it? Limited thing going, where people are like, it's limited time. Just now. Yeah, exclusivity. You said that.
There'll be like articles written that was like, oh my gosh, you have to go right now before they replenish their stock of stew, before they put anything else in it.
Yeah.
You have to beat everybody else there because if people drain the pot, I have to refill it, right?
This is a genius idea
new
for
ingredients.
A restaurant.
So it's like people gotta get up off the couch and get down and get their stew.
And
before
it's not
it
too expensive, so people are willing to pay the price even if it's bad. It's like just experience of trying it out.
It could be cheap because it's just whatever is available.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to use high quality ingredients, I think it'll be a lot cheaper than getting something off season.
True.
I imagine. I don't know.
Huh.
There could be, you could have different, there you go. You could have different tiers of pot. You could have like the low tier pot that you just throw in like whatever, like the cheapest stuff. It could be like $1 soup and it can be like a gallon bowl.
Okay.
But then you go all the way up to like the $30 soup that's like a little tiny like cup soup, like the ones with the little loop. It's basically a giant coffee cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then but that's like high tier. You only put like lobster and stuff in that one.
Oh my gosh, can you mix different? Like, could you have a meat one and then like a vegetarian one and a seafood?
See, that's how you expand your menu.
One, or would you have them all combined and be like,
see how many options there are?
That's true. Let's open this business. What are we waiting for?
This is great. I love that you started hating this idea.
I was
never
like,
wanting
that's
to try
disgusting.
it.
But
and it sounds like you still might be there, but you're willing to open a business around
I can see the business genius of it. That's the problem. I'm like, I see the potential here. Yeah, now my brain is just going. I'm like, this is
I want to try it. I wonder
because it wouldn't be that cost. It wouldn't cost that much either. Because I mean, I guess it would cost for the.
I mean,
the
you
products.
only need equipment to make a stew, and only however many stews are on the menu at that.
True, but you'd have to buy all the ingredients too. Like you'd have to buy enough ingredients to fill enough cups for ever basically. But and like you said, you went top tier. So are these like grade A lobster, or is it just like lobster from? Is it like Maine lobster, or is it Florida lobster? Because there's a big
that's the thing. It'll be like what's in season. It's got to follow its roots. That it's like a hunter gatherer. It's got to be about what's available.
Or is it just beef from the grocery store?
Oh well, I mean, again, this could be part of the tier system.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I love it. I love this idea. Somebody's gonna run with it. Go for it. If you can do it right, if you can do it well, if you can do it before us, we support you.
Honestly, I want to try it. So
yeah, so somebody get on that.
I just want it to exist in the world.
Yeah. You don't want to take the risk to do it yourself.
It looks like you can get a 40-year-old beef stew in Bangkok. They do. I
saw that there's like a 45-year-old one that's going right now. But that's the thing. Like, if we start this stew thing, we're gonna be like, oh, it's one day old.
But I don't think. Here's the thing. I think there's a point. It needs to mature. Definitely. It needs I think probably a year or two to reach its full potential.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is none of these stews are ever gonna be like older than a couple of years unless someone's eating them, right? And they're just gonna you have to cycle out the ingredients. It's slow, and the mixtures I don't know, happen over time. I mean, probably about a 2-year intervals. Okay. But eventually it gets cycled out. You get a whole new stew.
True.
But it just doesn't happen all at once. It's always like a shifting gradient. So I don't think there's really a benefit to getting an older stew.
True.
As long as it's had enough time to reach its full potential and isn't just a stew you made today.
Yeah, I want look up, see if there's a place that already does this.
Well, that's what I was doing.
Oh.
The only place I could find was Bangkok. I wonder if there's a health code issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Perpetual Stew Restaurant. Is that what you looked up?
I said perpetual stew near me, so Google Maps could help me out.
Oh my gosh. Beef noodle soup in Bangkok. Okay.
It suggests Bahama Breeze.
Oh god. So maybe that Bangkok's like the only place. That's scary.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's a health code violation thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I think it's probably safe if, people did it for millions of years.
It's probably just the notion of it is a big turnoff for people.
There might be some law in there that's just like, no, you can't serve a 40-year-old stew.
But I mean, if you think about it,
we're going to go ahead and ban that.
Technically, the stuff in there won't be 40 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, it's really just like at most 2-year-olds do, but that still might be
pushing the limits. Yeah.
That might be something that raises the health inspector's red flag.
Maybe we need to fly to Bangkok and have a discussion with this man and find out all the ins and outs before we jump into it.
Yeah. I mean, if they let, like fermenting and stuff, like
they do ferment.
There's some weird stuff where people like sell fermented, bananas that are like gross. 10 years old or something. It's like, ew. If you're going to do that, you gotta let somebody give a 2-year-old.
This is true. I wonder if this is like the fountain of youth. Maybe this is the thing that cures.
This is what Ponce de Leon was missing.
Yeah. This cures everything. But I gotta say, I've been looking at some of these pictures, and they're kind of a turnoff. Now
the thing is, they're not going to look appealing, right? Because it's always going to be a menagerie. It's going to be a hodgepodge.
But isn't that a huge part of eating? Is the aesthetics of your food in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I will admit that those things are important, but there are things that look gross but taste amazing, right? Like there's some shakes, there's some. I don't know, mac and cheese doesn't look that appealing. People like it now because, you know what it tastes like. But if somebody just served you a bunch of yellow lumps, would you be like, let me dig in?
No, but see, yeah, okay, that's true. There's a lot of aesthetically pleasing food that's just gross too. So
yes, there's that too. So you could be like, oh wow, and then you bite into it and you're like, oh, like fondant.
Fondant. Well, I actually like fondant, but I not for an entire cake. But I'm thinking the bubble teas. I cannot get behind the bubble teas. They look really cute.
Well, you don't like things popping in your mouth.
Well, that's true. Mushrooms have got to go. Okay, so
what do you got against mushrooms? Why not?
All right. I mean,
what about gushers? How do you feel about gushers?
I do not like gushers. I don't like a lot of candy. But here's the thing. How
do you feel about the tapioca bobas? They're the ones that don't pop. They're gummy.
Tapioca bobas, like a boba tea.
Yeah.
See, I don't think there should be anything at any phase of solid, of any solidified anything inside of a liquid that you're supposed to be drinking. I don't agree with this.
What about a stew?
That's not something you drink. That's something you eat. It's okay.
What about ramen? You slurp up the end of the ramen.
Yeah, that's soup. It's fine.
Maybe you just need to think of boba as a soup.
No, I can't because it's cold.
What about the last bit of ice cream that has some chocolate chips in it?
Ew, no, I wouldn't eat that.
What?
The other day I tried Chick-Fil-A's Peppermint Milkshake they had for the holidays. I guess this was a little while ago. It wasn't the other day. But anyways, but they have chunks of peppermint in it, the candies or whatever. And you don't really taste it while you're drinking it because it's really fine. But once you get down to the bottom, they kind of all fell down to the bottom. So there's a bunch of them down there. And now it's just a pool of it, bunch of little.
Yeah, what about a milkshake that has chocolate chips or something?
No. I don't even like milkshakes with stuff. I'm trying to think, Steak and Shake kind of does that where they mix in. They have a bunch of different flavors where they'll mix in different things in your milkshake. Yeah,
they'll mix in Reese's Pieces and stuff.
No. Okay, if it's a Blizzard from Dairy Queen or a McFlurry from McDonald's where they put stuff inside of a ice cream, that's ice cream. You eat it with a spoon. So that's okay. But once it turns into a liquid, there should be no chunks or any solid food at all inside of it.
You need a little bit of surprise in there.
That's my opinion.
Or else you're just drinking some smooth milk.
Exactly.
You need some bumps in there to throw you off.
Nah.
Bumps and lumps.
I don't know. Who's
Get
with
those
me?
crunchy bumps and lumps. That's the
bumps.
name of this episode.
I thought it was the miracle brisket.
Oh, yeah.
No, I like chunky bumps and what was it? Chunky bumps and what?
Chunky bumps and lumps.
And lumps. Yeah, I like that.
The chunky bump lump surprise.
Don't. No, I mean I can't handle that. But what should we name our perpetual stew restaurant? Or should it just be called the Perpetual Stew? Oh,
there's got to be a great name for this. That's totally escaping me.
Yeah.
Nothing comes to mind.
What is the word ubiquitous mean? Or ubiquitous? I need to look that up because it's part of this.
Innocuous?
Oh, is that why? Wait, why is it not looking up? Oh.
Innocuous is like something that's not dangerous.
Well, I know what that means, but I didn't know that's what this word is. Is that what this word is? I'm gonna look it up because that's not all what I would think. I didn't think it was. Okay, so it's excessively or. Oh, here's another word I don't know. How do you? I don't like when they put words I don't know and.
You get down the thesaurus chain.
Here we go. Okay, hold on. I gotta look up that word now. Okay, so that word is ingratiating.
Ingratiating?
Ingratiating. Maybe it's ingratiating. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, to like get in favor with someone.
Intended to adopt in order to gain favor. So that makes sense. Capable of winning favor.
Okay.
What is it? Ingratiating? So
ingratiating.
This word is a person excessively or ingratiatingly flattering, or it could also mean oily. And the sentence.
What is the word?
It's unctuous.
UNC.
So maybe it is. I don't think it's innocuous, but maybe it is. I don't know. How do you spell innocuous? No, it's not.
I don't know.
It's definitely not.
Blowing my
Innocuous
mind.
is completely. That's what I'm saying. Like, what is this word? I've never seen or heard of it before. It's unctuous. Unctuous. I think is how it's. Wait, unctuous.
Oh yeah, unctuous.
It's unctuous.
Okay.
Man, I feel like I
yeah,
need to go
like
back
you're
to school.
spelling it for me. I'm trying to like see it written
I know.
out. I'm like, what? I can't do it.
Unctuous.
Yeah.
Unctuous. It's excessively or ingratiatingly flattering. Anyway, that's the name of this stew place.
Unctuous.
Unctuous.
Unctuousness.
I've never heard that word. We've
Unctuous
learned something
though.
new.
That sounds a little like.
Unctuous.
I don't know. Something about that is too close to like.
It says having a greasy or soapy feel. It could also mean that.
Yeah. I almost feel like could also mean something that smells bad.
I'm going to use
like
that.
That's just in my head.
Oh,
I don't know
maybe.
why.
I'm going to use that in a sentence.
I don't think that's the case.
You
but
have a very
just something
unctuous
about the
face.
sound of it is like maybe it's somewhere between like noxious and like unky.
Yeah.
something smells unky.
That's
I don't know if I
unky.
want to smell it.
Maybe that's where that came from. But yeah, you're right. No, it wouldn't have because
But
it means
that
oil.
wouldn't be ingratiating.
Yeah, no.
That'd be the opposite of ingratiating.
You're right. So it says the rich, unctuous stew simmers constantly throughout the day. So
I have heard of that used as an adjective, like to say something's pleasant, but I don't know. Something about it going in along with a stew feels weird.
I mean, it says it's having a greasy or soapy feel. That's what it means. So if it's a greasy soup, it feels like a greasy. Maybe somebody stuck their hand in there and was like, ugh, this is greasy. Not eating that.
Let's name our place the Obsequious Pot.
Obsequious?
Obsequious. This is we're just going down the thesaurus.
There we go. It's very attentive. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? I kind of like just the perpetual stew. I mean, that sounds very obvious.
I don't know. There's something poetic about it that I feel like we could come up with something really good if we really
put our heads
gave
together.
it some time, gave it some thought.
Well, we have a lot of creative
like,
people listening, so let us
something
know
like the forever taste.
The forever, the lingering ladle.
that's pretty good.
Never ends.
The ephemeral flavor. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's
because it's always changing.
Beautiful.
Gotta write these down.
Yeah,
we should be recording this conversation.
I know we might never think of this again. Yeah. So
awesome.
Those are some good options.
Those are some good options.
Yeah,
we gotta put together a portfolio, get this business rolling.
Definitely, yeah. That's one of the things I wanted to try in 2021 was a business idea and then launch a new idea.
Oh yeah, restaurants doing really great right
There
now.
we go. Restaurants terrify me though. Like, have you ever seen?
They should.
What's it called with Gordon Ramsay, where he goes around and fixes restaurants that have gone?
Yeah, like Rescue Kitchen or something.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I can't remember. It's like Hell's Kitchen. Is it Hell's Kitchen? No, that's the actual.
That is one with Gordon Ramsay, but that's a different show.
What the heck is it called?
Kitchen Rescue.
Kitchen Nightmares. That's it. Kitchen Nightmares. And just watch.
Is that what I was thinking of?
I don't know, but that's what's called. I just looked it up.
Okay.
Chicken Nightmares and Chicken Nightmares.
Chicken Nightmares.
I'm dead. Could you imagine? Yeah, that just, he always makes it seem like restaurants are super, super hard to
Oh, they are. Yeah.
run,
I mean, and also like so many people attempt it. Like,
and you just
so you
smell
have
all day from
a ton of
working there.
competition. It's a super difficult job, and it's not even like something that you'll often, even if you're like quote unquote successful, you'll just make like an okay amount of money doing it.
There's no real like crazy millionaire restaurant owners unless you're already a millionaire and you open a restaurant, and then you're like
pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things that like everybody can appreciate good food, right? Like if you become somebody who is like a well-known restaurateur, like
it's true, it could become a chain.
Yeah, people can like get behind that, right? Like that's something that's fun to say. Like if you can say you're an accomplished cook or something, like everybody's ears perk up, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, whatever. It's like if you have like a successful restaurant, you're a cook. Like that's a trade that is applicable to everybody.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not cooking a thing, so we need to hire people who actually can cook because everything I touch is disastrous.
You know, I feel like you could always say you have a successful restaurant, and then whether or not you ever touch a knife, you know, you're like, oh, don't even put a knife in my hand, or I'll make the most miracle brisket you've ever heard in your life.
I've definitely heard somebody say that.
But really, your friend secretly made the brisket, and you just put it in a stew.
Yeah, right. But the stew was miraculous. So
it was.
I mean, give yourself some credit, or Lervin credit, I guess.
It was a good stew. No, we're stealing credit. Remember?
Oh, right. Yeah. So, what was in this stew other than beef brisket? Were there vegetables?
There's quinoa.
There has to be carrots.
No, not quinoa. What is that? What are those big like balls of couscous?
Oh, couscous.
And then there was broth, and then there was carrots. There was.
I knew there was carrots. I mean, you can't have a stew without carrots. Ah,
of course.
Sorry.
There's broccoli. Pretty sure. Yeah, there's broccoli.
Oh, okay. Broccoli.
Oh, there's peas. The peas are really good.
Peas. I'm writing this all down. I'm joking.
I mean,
I'm joking. I'm not.
We can attempt to recreate.
Definitely recreate it sometime. And
I don't have a smoker, so
I'm
gonna need to get
a friend that has one. Yeah, you have that, so no excuse.
I do have that. I do have the friend that has the smoker. I can put it on my registry. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'll be good at using it, but
you get good. You get good for this stew, okay?
For the sake of this stew.
For the sake of the lives of the people that are involved in this stew, you will make it happen.
We need it.
Yeah. The world needs it. That reminds me, I was listening to a what?
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead. Is it relevant?
Yes.
Go.
But only tangentially.
Okay.
You giving me the floor?
I'm giving you the floor. Go for it.
Okay. Speaking of gifts, I got like the best gift for Christmas.
What? What did you get? We're all on the edge of our seats.
Have you ever heard of a bike?
You got your bike.
It is so amazing.
Oh,
so
fabulous.
For those who don't know, I was borrowing my mom's Land Cruiser that's hot pink for biking purposes in these COVID times.
Yeah.
And it was fine for exercise because, you know, it takes a little bit of effort to get it moving. But man, I got this little road bike. Well, it's kind of a hybrid bike, but oh my gosh. And it's the most beautiful matte orange. And this thing zips, man. I press my foot down on the pedal and just once, and I'm halfway down the street.
Are you serious?
I can't explain it.
Oh,
it's amazing.
It sounds so nice. What's it called? Well, what's it called? Tell me.
It was the Rally Cadent 1. So there's a Cadent 1 and 2, I think. Got the recommendation on Reddit. Shout out to our bicycle commuting, I think. And their little sidebar wiki for starter commuter bikes.
Okay.
It was excellent. Gosh, it is just such a pleasant riding experience having come from that. And now I want to bike everywhere. Like, I just want to like go, if I want to like go 5 miles to get food, I'm like, oh, I'll just bike there.
And like, how did you find this bike? I thought all bikes were sold out.
I bought it online. It was on Amazon.
Oh, really?
It's like, yeah, it came in like 2 days.
Really? That is just, I mean, obnoxious. Because, yeah, anyways.
Amazon's a place to go, man. Everything's always in stock.
No, because
except for toilet paper.
Mike's been looking for a bike for like since probably April or May. And he literally just got his bike before Christmas.
Can I suggest the Rally Cadent one?
Well, you can, but he already got his, and now
okay.
he got
a
cruiser, which he really wanted because he's like, oh, I'm just a casual rider. I'm not going to be.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Cruisers are nice. Like, I love the step through function, and the wide seat is excellent. Although I'm planning to get a wider seat for my commuter bike.
I was gonna say, how's your butt handling this commuter bike?
Yeah, that's the thing. This bike is excellent everywhere except for the seat. I think they always cheap out on the seat because they know everybody just like prefers their kind of seat and they're gonna get it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean, it's okay. I haven't yet had a sore butt the next day, but it's like it's not the most comfortable.
No, yeah.
It could be better.
So I'm looking for this bike online and I don't see it, but I believe you. I'm not going to.
I mean, I can send you the link if you want.
I'm not going to, call you out. Yeah, definitely send me the link. Okay, so here's the thing. So I was thinking Mike got his bike and he got the cruiser bike and he enjoys the cruiser bike, but he was always so much slower than me and he would always complain that his legs are killing him. Like he's getting sore legs. But after we just go not that far, okay? And here I am thinking, either he's really out of shape or there's something wrong with his bike. And so we switched bikes one day and I was riding his bike. And I will say that it's a lot harder to ride. You think you're getting a cruiser bike because it's like you're just cruising. It's easy, but it's not. Yeah. It's harder to ride. So anyway.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. Something about it. It's like, it's not that bad once you get it up to speed. But I feel like if you're doing a lot of like stopping and turning and stuff, it's annoying. And then also if you ever have to go like uphill, because those cruiser bikes, they never got like gears or anything.
Well, he has a 7-gear cruiser bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got the gears because I told him.
My words.
Well, I told him he had to get the gears because I knew that we have hills here, and I knew that would be an issue for him. So I was like, no, you have to have at least a couple gears. So anyway, he got gears, but he rides on the number 1 gear on flat surfaces, if that makes sense. So when you're on gear 1, that means you're going up the steepest hill possible. So if he's using gear 1 to just ride around the neighborhood, what's he going to do when he hits a hill? I mean,
that he might be getting tired though. Like that would tire you out faster though, if you're in the wrong gear because you have to pedal more.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, well, your legs are moving more often. Like, I don't know.
Like you're basically doing like a spin class.
But yeah, when exactly.
They
yeah, I know.
Lay on their back or whatever, and maybe that's not a spin class, but like the pose or whatever where you lay on your back and bicycle kick. Yeah, that's like an exercise. It's extra exercise.
But we did switch bikes, and I will say that. I mean,
that's good.
I guess I don't know.
Whatever tires you out, as long as you're getting.
But now he doesn't want to like whenever we go out. Now he's like, well, now we're switching. We're switching because he's like, this one's way better than mine. So now I'm stuck with a cruiser bike.
Wait, so he likes your other kind of bike?
Yeah, he likes my bike better now because we switched once so that I could see. Because I thought there was something wrong with his bike. I was like, your bike must be broken because there's no reason for you to be on gear 1.
I see. Yeah. So you need a bike for you again.
Basically, yeah.
The thing is, he should really get because another thing that I think really helps with this, the sheer efficiency of each pedal for me, is that I was able to get maximum wheel size. So I got, basically my seat is all the way down. Like I have it at its lowest position.
You do?
So I got the biggest bike that I could fit on essentially.
Okay.
And that allows me to get the biggest wheel size. And it feels like, I think that makes it a lot more efficient.
Yeah. Because you both are very tall. I mean, not very tall, but you're tall.
Yeah, he's even taller than me, I think. Yeah. So he could get like at least a 29-inch, and that's going to make it like a lot easier.
Yeah, I think he's in a 26-inch, which anyway is probably part of the problem.
How about the Land Cruiser?
I don't know. Oh, no, that is the Land Cruiser, is the 26.
Oh,
because it was the only one that was available.
29 is going to be feel so much better. And also the thinner the tire you get, the better for like easy road riding. You're gonna cut
That's
into
what
dirt though,
yeah.
so you're like never gonna be able to go off road. But if you're just riding around the neighborhood, if you're never gonna be like mountain biking in it or anything, like get the thin tires, because these have like really really thin tires. They're like, I actually was meaning to get one that had like a little thicker tire, so I was kind of I guess disappointed. But now that I'm riding around in it, I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
Turns out it's okay.
Forget thick tires.
Oh, nice.
I'll just get a whole nether bike to go on dirt roads.
Oh, I like this color that you have here. This orange, matte orange. It's nice.
Yes, I love the matte orange. I love matte and I love orange, and together, beautiful. Mwah, chef's kiss. It looks even better in person. Can I say? It's like a burnt umbre.
Nice. Okay. Hey, and it's even, whoa, that hardly ever happens, but it's cheaper on Amazon than it is from their website, and it's free shipping. And you can get it by Tuesday. Most of the time. What the heck?
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what I found oddly? Because, okay, this is another thing. I've gotten so excited about it. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm like looking up all kinds of bike accessories and stuff I could get for it, and I'm like on Amazon like, yeah. Oh, I need like this pouch, and I need the phone holder, and I need the
bike
bell,
rack. I need a bike rack.
Yeah, I need all these things.
Yeah.
And so I'm like filling up my cart. I have options in my cart right now. Like I have some things that can get here by 4 a.m. tonight.
Are you serious? Like overnighted?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not even overnight. It's like within hours.
So you got the extra large bike, I'm guessing. Because there's sizes. It says small, medium, large, extra large.
Yeah, that's weird because I've always like shopped by like, you know, when I was a kid mostly is when I had experience getting bikes. Ever since then, I've just kind of like whatever bike is around, I adopt.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I ended up with a hot pink Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've always, like our parents and stuff, we would get like stuff from like Walmart and stuff, you know, where they're just like the wheel size is the only thing that you really measure.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you can, like when you actually go to bike shops and stuff, they do it by like just size, like clothing size. Like you can get an extra large or an extra small or whatever. I got the large. It's a 29-inch wheel.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, most of my research, because I guess a lot of it is about like geometry, as they say. I did go to like REI and stuff, and like talk to very pinkies out bike people that, you know, they're all talking about the geometry of like, doesn't necessarily mean anything to have a bigger wheel if like the frame is shaped differently and stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
there's a whole, you got to have passed trigonometry if you
yeah.
want to buy a bike, but
basically need to go back to school, then get a bike. Yeah, right. Nice. Okay.
Just notice the picture of this bike is without the brakes. Oh no, they have different style brakes. Interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that because I had to put Mike's bike together, and obviously in the manual or whatever, you have to figure out like which is the correct braking mechanisms you have. What's the same gear hookup or whatever. Anyway, So you must have put your bike together yourself, right? You did that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't put together the back wheel, all the gears, the frame and everything was all assembled. I put on the seat handlebars and front wheel.
Oh.
And pedals.
Yeah, but you had to like hook up the brakes and stuff too, right?
The brakes were already wired mostly. I had to modify them a little bit just to get them to work right with the wheel on and everything. But yeah, most for the most part they were already like wired and everything.
Well, ours were kind of like that too, but when, I don't know, something happened in the assembly situation that I was doing, and I had it all nice and good, and then he put on the wheel, and it totally screwed up the braking system. So now his brakes are all messed up, and they don't brake. I've tried everything. I've gone through so many YouTube videos on how to do it and how to fix it. I cannot. So I don't know. Like, so now he doesn't brake very easily.
Have brakes?
Yeah, basically he doesn't have brakes. So that's something.
I could take a look. I don't know. I kind of messed mine up too and fixed them.
You did?
Maybe similar.
Yeah, I was like, I think at this point I need to take it somewhere. I don't know. And then I was thinking, well, maybe his gears are messed up because he was always on one. But now I'm thinking, well, maybe he's just, you know, liking the fast, like the lowest speed possible. I don't know. He's new to riding bikes, so I think he just doesn't know the feel yet, maybe. But
it's funny because we're kind of like in reverse, or we're in the same situation, but it's just that Lorvin's on kind of like that way. She got the bike for me, by the way, because she wants to go riding.
Yeah.
Best gift ever.
That is the best. That was my best Christmas present. It was him getting a bike because now we can bike together. I always go by myself.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though, because it's basically, this was her return gift, because I got her a bike previously, like last year basically, and then I was like, yeah, I'll ride with you, and she's like, on the pink Land Cruiser. I'm like, yeah, why not?
She can't handle it. She's like,
so she's like, now we can ride together. And she's like, this is the best Christmas gift for you ever.
Yeah, now we can. Before I couldn't handle the embarrassment, but before you were a laughing stock of the okay, well. Good. I'm glad for you.
Yeah, but it is a similar situation where I think like she didn't ride bikes as much as like I did as a kid, so I feel a lot more at home on them, I feel like. So I feel myself kind of being like, all right, now I got like this great bike, let's take off. And then I just like
she's like, wait for
and
me.
then I look behind me and there's no one. I'm like, uh-oh.
I know. That's exactly how I feel. I even when we're going downhill and you don't have to pedal or anything, you can just cruise. I still go way faster than him. He's always back there. And I'm like, what? Why aren't you accelerating down a hill faster than me? I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
With all that weight?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
When you're on a Land Cruiser, it's like you're in a tank. If anything, his problem should be stopping at the end of the hill.
I think the Cruiser was maybe a bad idea, personally. But, I mean, it's comfortable.
But I mean, that's another thing where I think the efficiency of like the size of the wheel might help.
Yeah, maybe. So and
also the tread size, so a thinner wheel would provide less resistance.
That's true. Yeah, our goal is to get him on the trail. There's a bike trail near our house. We haven't left the neighborhood yet, so it's been a couple months, and we're working up. But I'm just proud that he goes out when he does. So, and
COVID, you got plenty of time to ramp up.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, not because of COVID, but yeah.
But I mean,
we'll get there.
Spending so much time at home and inside.
Right. Stay tuned for our bike journey. When he gets to the trail, I will update you, and we can all celebrate.
Yeah. It was kind of like when I got this bike, I was like, oh my God, there's so much, because I used to ride the Land Cruiser and stuff to like get food sometimes for like lunch. For my lunch break, I would pedal like to the Hourglass District, which is like, it's probably about 2 or 3 miles from my house, so then a return trip, so like a 6-mile bike for lunch, and then like that was just kind of a fun thing. It was kind of difficult because that was basically all my time for lunch, so I had to like scarf down my food otherwise. But now I feel like, oh my God, I could go so much farther. I'm like, let's go to Mills, which is like 10 miles from my house. I'm like, let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
Larvin's like, let's go to the lake that's down the street.
That's just
I'm like, oh well, that makes sense.
Well, see, I think
that's a little more reasonable, I suppose.
I think that comes from our upbringing a little bit, because we did that a lot growing up, and I know that you did too. Like with you and I used to walk places all the time. Like we would walk down to Publix, which was a couple miles away, and then we'd walk back. And then, we'd always be on foot or like take the city bus somewhere or like, go wherever we could go and come back.
Right.
Where I don't think I'm getting, growing up, I kind of got the impression that wasn't normal. And so I'm always like, let's walk somewhere, or let's go somewhere, let's ride our bike somewhere, let's ride our bike to Publix and get some groceries. It's like, everyone's like, why don't we just take the car? I'm like, because it's
because we can take the bike.
It would be fun.
And then you don't have to go to the gym afterwards.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like people are like, why would I walk there? And then they spend like 3 hours on a treadmill.
True. Yeah.
Like, you could have experienced the outdoors that are really out there.
Exactly.
Instead of just sitting inside, like walking and staring at the wall.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just something you could easily do. But I didn't know. Yeah. That's pretty cool that you take your bike and go get some Foxtail coffee or whatever.
Groceries and stuff. I've done, I've gotten like, I once biked to the Chipotle that's like 3 miles away and got like dinner. And
okay, so
nice.
There was a mystery bike ride that you took the other night with our brother.
It's your other brother.
Well, it's my other brother. It's just your brother. But I heard that you were gone so long.
Am I my own brother?
Are you? I don't know.
That's a good question.
We
have so many names for this podcast. Let's not go into it.
Yeah, that's so true. But you got lost or something because you were gone forever. Mom was like, your brothers went on a bike ride and Like, they're still gone.
Was she looking for us?
I don't know. Not now.
Yeah, I remember like we were biking around and we saw her, and I thought she was just. We were like, oh, what a coincidence! But maybe she was looking for us.
She probably was like, "Are they dead?" I mean, because you guys were out till. Was it like after midnight? You just like left and you were gone for hours.
No, it wasn't after midnight.
Oh, it seemed.
It was dark. It had just gotten dark.
Okay, well, she made it sound like it was.
It had just gotten dark when we left, and we biked to Aardvark, which is near there, and had some dinner and stuff. It's pretty good.
You ate?
Yeah, we ate.
Oh, you weren't just like biking around.
Yeah.
What is an aardvark? We had a brewski,
so we didn't want to rush.
Is that a bird?
Huh?
Is an aardvark a bird?
Aardvark is an anteater.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that place over next yeah, it's like that little county store.
Yeah, it's right next to it used to be a convenience store.
Yeah.
Back like when I was in Boone, we used to like go there.
I feel like that name's changed. They've changed names like 100 times.
No, that's the thing. It's been the same name, but they've totally changed what the business is.
Oh.
It used to be Aardvark, and they sold it was a convenience store that also happened to sell kegs. Like they sold you could get like keg refills there. And then they kept the keg refilling, but then expanded it to be a bar instead of a convenience store. And then they made it a restaurant.
Did they make it like a bakery for a while? Or I
think you're thinking of bakery.
But Plus. It was like an ice cream store. They had ice cream. And then
ice cream.
This was so long ago though. Like I think in the beginning they had like the ice cream, but they also had a convenience store. So I think it was like a combo. Like you went in for convenience store, but they also had an ice cream bar. And then, like you said,
they thinking of Freshfield Farm?
They kept changing it. No, I'm thinking of the same one. I like you. I know that they've changed what it is so many times that I always thought, oh, maybe they changed the name too, but I guess not. I don't know.
No, but it's always been the Aardvark. I think I'm pretty sure also that it isn't just one very adventurous businessman. It's exchanged hands a couple times.
Yeah, it's probably like me. If I were to own a business, I'd be like, yeah, I'm tired of this. Let's change it. Let's do something different.
But it's interesting that it's changed hands, but they've never thought, let's change the name, right? It's like, we're going to totally change the format of this business. But I like Aardvark.
The business description says, a humble retailer featuring a large selection of beers, kegs, equipment, and other items.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they retail other than... They also do coffee, yeah. In the morning, you can get like brunch, and they have a little coffee bar. So
yeah. I mean,
there's that
it's always nice to go. I've been there quite a few times growing up, so...
Have you been since the remodel? It's very nice. I like it.
I don't know.
And apparently, I stole the owner's pretzel one time.
What?
Yeah,
loser.
First of all, one of the fun things is they do a lot of events.
Yeah,
like so. One of the things they did. No, I don't think I've ever seen live music there. But they do like one of the times I went there, they were doing like a German night. So they replaced their whole menu with German food. And they were doing, they had like a company there, I forget, but they had some like Hefeweizens and like German style beers. And it was like a whole event. It was really nice. And I ordered some like latkes and stuff, and I was enjoying myself. But then I saw at this table, they had this delicious looking soft pretzel with Dijon mustard and like all the accoutrements. And I was like, oh my God, where do I get one of those pretzels? To the waitress. And she was like, she's like, that's actually the owners. And I think they just brought those in. I don't think we sell them. Hang on, let me check. And I thought she was going to go like check the back to see if they like make them. But she walked over and asked them. She starts talking to them. And the guy leans over. He's like, dude, have a pretzel. And he just like gives me a pretzel. I'm like, oh, thanks. I'm like, I didn't want to like take your pretzels. I thought you maybe sold them here. Oops. And they're like, no, dude. And they're like you want us, we'll get them to like warm it up for you. And they like really gave me the full treatment.
Wow.
And I was like, damn.
Well, it is kind of like a small business. So, I mean, they're pretty cool there. Yeah, they've always been pretty nice. But the description that I was reading was, I think, their old description about with the beers and everything. Because even then it says like, yeah, we have live music and it's like just like pick up beers and stuff. But then when I went to their website, I can see, it's like totally different. And it says that it's a Gulf to grill, Grove to stove. We aim to take quality and freshness to a new level. Your old neighborhood beer store is taking a turn to bring a new light to our city beautiful. Stay tuned. So, and they have like tons of like nice looking, delicious food. So
They have some really cool options on there. A lot of it's like I said, they do events and stuff. So I've actually seen, and they have like a brunch menu. So they actually have a wide variety of stuff. And I think it changes over like perhaps seasonally or something.
mm-hmm.
But when I was there with our brother Tim, there was a lot of like Louisiana, like Cajun influenced kind of stuff, and also like seafood. And I got the lightest Beyond Meat burger I've ever had.
Lightest?
So it was a full like vegan burger,
mm-hmm.
and it was like the Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
And it had like some red onion and some lettuce and stuff on it, and it was so light. Like it was a big burger. It was filling. It was like a really thick patty and everything, but like when you pick it up, it was made of air.
Oh my god.
I was like, whoa.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, anybody who lives in the Orlando area, I guess check it out, because it looks like they've really changed things up for the better. So it does look good. And they even changed the restaurant like itself. It looks like they remodeled it some.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So.
And while they certainly are making food now, they do still have a ton of beer. It's like
Well, it says it's
Tim
a bar,
was
so.
Honestly, most of the time we spent there was Tim trying to decide which beer he would have.
Of course.
Because it's like, we're only going to have one because we're biking.
That
we're
is a classic
get smashed.
Tim move.
So it was like 30 minutes of him being like, oh. And then the guy goes, that's just what's on tap. We have a wall with over 150
You're like,
beers.
shh, stop it. Don't tell him.
And he's like, what? It was good.
Yeah, it says it's a restaurant, bar, and bottle shop. So there you go. The Aardvark.
Yeah, you
check it out.
Yeah. If you live in the Orlando area.
Or you're visiting, come visit.
Yeah.
Well, people will do it.
Coming down for that Disney World experience.
No, I was thinking
why not stop at the Aardvark?
If they came here for a meetup, because we're so popular. We can.
Yeah, just tell them Andrew sent you. He says, thanks for the pretzel, and I came from Wyoming to experience this.
Where's the pretzel? I know you have them in here. Don't hide them from me. So true. Yeah.
Got anything else for me?
Let me see.
It's been about an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we've covered everything.
I think we've pretty much covered everything here on the docket.
Covered everything there is to cover about
brisket stew. Check.
So
perpetual. What was it? Ephemeral flavor.
Ephemeral flavor. Yeah.
Bikes. Check.
Yeah. Okay. I have something like food related. I did listen to a podcast recently, which I was going to recommend. I've only listened to one episode, so I mean, I'm going to recommend this podcast, but I've only listened to one episode.
You're going to recommend the first episode of this podcast?
No, it's actually number 83, the Brain series, part 1 of 3. Part 1 of 3. Okay, guys, I got to look up for the other two. It wasn't like I don't know. Don't get your hopes up. But it was good. It's basically it's called the Doctor's Kitchen, and it's basically a doctor who has this podcast, and his whole thing is about like food and how food relates to your health. And so he interviews people who have insights, and like other doctors and stuff that have insights to how different foods and different ways of cooking and stuff like that. It's a nutrition kind of podcast. But anyways, this particular episode was with a woman who is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist, professional chef, and nutrition specialist. So she went to culinary school.
Wow.
She also went to medical school, and she became a nutrition specialist. And so her whole, she's kind of an expert on all things, like how what you eat affects your brain and how you feel and like your emotions and stuff. But anyway, it was a really cool episode, and she was also giving like tips about different things that you can eat that will help promote, less anxiety, and less depression, and also just general good health and good well-being. And so,
is it all CBD oil?
No, actually, she didn't mention that at all. But she did. Oh, she also said that there's a big connection between your diet and OCD and PTSD and anxiety. So she kind of dove into like actual disorders that can be perpetuated or even enhanced through different foods that you eat. So it's better to like focus on other foods. And she also touched on veganism and like, if you're vegan, here's some things you can try to make the most of the foods you eat. So one of the things that was like probably her best tip was if you are eating well, her big thing was like add more fiber to your diet because fiber regulates your system, and a lot of people avoid fiber, or they really focus more on protein. But anyway, so what she was saying was like for a lot of vegans, they'll eat thing, and also omega-3s are big. So like chia seeds have both of those. So she said that when you're eating chia seeds and things like making a pudding or something like that, if you add turmeric to that, it actually, there's some kind of like combining of those two things that enhance and bring out the most in what it provides. So anyway, she gives like little tips like that. And so I think, and that was just one interview. So now I'm going to dive into the other two because it's so interesting. And to me, I have like a really bad stomach. Like I have a lot of problems. So I'm trying to get more,
trying to teach it a lesson.
Teach it some lessons and become more just intuitive about the gut health and how it affects everything. And one of the things she said was that there's a vagus nerve that runs from your gut to your brain, and that gets irritated or stimulated depending on the types of foods you eat, and that nerve controls a lot of like your moods and how you're feeling. So
is that how hangry happens?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but you know. Anyway, go check it out. It's just a recommendation I have. So that ends our food discussion for the week, and everybody eat good.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah, thanks.
We could pretty much say that at the end of every
episode for sure. Check us out on all the places, and let us know if you liked us. You know, give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you, good or bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Hit us up on Instagram.
Yep.
We're back since last week.
We're back in full swing.
Yeah, Lisa's been keeping it up. Lisa's done a lot between last week and this week.
Aww.
That was a hot week. You should have been on Instagram that week.
You missed out so hard on that. If you missed it, I mean, what are you waiting for? Just get over there. You won't miss any more. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Now, speaking of food, I'm going to go eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me,
start the stew. I'll start the stew.
Get the stew started.
I'll start the stew.
If you don't start it now, you won't have it. It won't be
the brisket.
4 years old by the time we start our restaurant.
Yeah, we'll let you know next time how the stew's stewing.
There's no time like the present to start your Hunter's Pot.
That's right.
I do kind of like the name Hunter's Pot.
That's another one. I'm gonna write that down.
Although it seems
too
oddly,
too obvious.
No, it seems oddly like sexual. I don't know why.
What?
Something about it seems like an innuendo. Hunter's Pot. Sounds like something you'd see on Urban Dictionary and not want to read this.
Like, what is this?
I don't know.
I dare I read further? Okay. Maybe we'll scratch that one then.
But no, I'm down.
Nice.
I like everything about this idea. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's hire somebody else to do it. Let's do that.
Is this podcast over? What happened? Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Just bye.
So long, pretty well, Pip, cheerio, we'll be back soon.
These are the kind of conversations we have after
That's
the
right.
podcast. We can't let them know.
Yeah, we don't know. You don't need to know our plan. You need to know our process.
Can't let them know what we talked about.
We did it all ourselves. We worked hard. We worked our fingers to the bone. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, weren't you going to eat?
Yeah, I'm starving. So I do.
All right.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Love you.
I love you. Bye-bye.